Hello. In this video I'm going to talk about how to spot a bad client. So you're going to come into contact with a lot of people for your lawn care business once you're advertising, and people are going to be phoning you, texting you, emailing you, all of that sort of thing. And I thought I'd give you a few pointers to recognize a few of the ways that I've noticed how to spot a bad client, as in someone you don't want to take on board. Now, the reason this is so important is if you take on a lousy client, you're using your time and energy on that client, and it fills your schedule with people who are not good for your business, and you need to eliminate those people from your business so that you have room to take on quality clients who are going to give you what you want in your business. So the first thing I want to point out is that you need to know who is your ideal client, and to be able to describe them, what it is they're after, and that way you know who is a good client and who is a bad client. And this is different for everyone. I'm always making a point of this. What is it that you want for your business, and also why do you want it? In my business, maybe in your business you want to take cash and you want to have a chat with clients, but for me, this is just an example. I don't want to do that. I just want to get on with the work, and I want to be paid well for it, and I want to have no hiccups and extra admin time. So it's important, first of all, that you know who is your ideal client. And I've done a video about this before. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go check that out if you want to. So I'll just describe my ideal client. And for me, that is someone who is a high-paying client so that I have room to grow my business. It is someone who gets their lawn mowed every 2 weeks in summer and every 4 weeks in the winter. In America, I know you guys do that mostly weekly and perhaps fortnightly or whatever over the winter. But that's what it is for me here. It is someone who likes to look after their lawn, which is part of them getting it done every 2 weeks. So they like to look after their lawn and get extras done and that sort of thing. And they're appreciative of the work, and they pay into my account. So with that in mind, here is how I spot a bad client. And these are some of the ways that I've noticed over and over and over again the people that will phone up. Now, I just want to also point out that at this point in time in the stage of the business that I'm in, I'm rejecting about 9 out of 10 leads that contact me for lawn care. And that's because they just do not meet the description. I'm really looking for that one, which is going to propel my business forward. So I'll just point that out as an aside. Now, here I think I've got 6 things that people will say that automatically discount them from me taking them on as a client. The first one, I'm going to do an Australian accent, by the way, because this is how they talk. So, number 1, they phone, I answer the phone, and first thing they say, "When can you mow my lawn?" Oh man, it is awful. This person, I can hang up on them right now if I'm not polite and thinking about my business. The conversation may as well end right there. They're terrible. They're the person that has an overgrown lawn that they haven't taken care of for months. All of a sudden they have like a house inspection or something like that, and all of a sudden they want you to come and mow their lawn that day. It's not going to be a good job. It's going to be horrible and overgrown. They're not going to be wanting to pay money. It's just how they are. That's number 1. That's the classic person, my least favorite person to get a phone call from. All right, number 2 is they say, "I just need the grass mowed. I don't want the edges done. I just want a basic lawn mowing." So for me, I can understand their perspective. They don't care that much about their lawn, but in my business, I do not want that. For me, it doesn't look good for my business to turn up and do basically a low quality job. That doesn't reflect well upon me and my business. So I understand their position, and I will let them know that I understand that position, but that we only do a full maintenance service, which includes the edging, the lawns, and blowing any paths and driveways. So number 3 is how much, this is the first thing they say as well, by the way, how much do you charge to mow a lawn? Now, this person here is basically cheap, okay? They're phoning up. I mean, how can you give that information? I know nothing about their lawn, where they're from, anything at all. How can I give them any information about how much I'm going to charge to mow their lawn without any of those details? They just want a cheap price. That person is not suited for my business. I may as well hang up the phone right now. Number 4, once you have done the quote and you give them a price. Maybe especially if you're visiting them in person, or you like to send through texts about the pricing. But even if you do it over the phone, you give them a price and they say, can you do it cheaper? Or, maybe I quote them, say $65. They say, will you do it for $60? Okay, now this person, I don't want to deal with them. Again, they're looking for a cheap price, and as soon as they find someone who's going to do it cheaper, they're going to go with that person. And in the meantime, you've done the work for them, they haven't been appreciative of it, they feel like they're overpaying, and that's fair enough. Everyone wants to save money, and it's not important to get a quality lawnmower for a lot of people, but that's just not the sort of person that I want in my business. So I don't want to deal with that person. Now this is a really funny one. I don't know if you guys get this in America, but here in Australia, I get this classic phone call, and happens in the middle of spring or when the growth is really quite heavy, and I get the phone call from someone and they'll say, my lawn guy just retired. And it's really crazy how many lawn guys are retiring in the awesome part of the season, but to me, I assume they're telling a lie. It won't be a lie all of the time, but a lot of the time that's a lie. Their lawn guy hasn't retired. He's just realized, or she has just realized, that they don't want to do this lawn anymore because this client is not a very good client and they've found someone better. That's what's happening behind the scenes there. So, I'm not saying it's true all the time, but I would be suspicious of that person and where they're going to take your business. Now, like I said before, I do every 2 weeks in the peak season and every 4 weeks in the winter. So a lot of times on the phone, if I'm talking with a potential client, then I may have a few preliminary questions. It's hard to explain, but after a few years of doing this, you kind of get a little bit more of an instinct about the type of person or the type of potential client you're dealing with. And so one of my really key questions to kind of filter out the bad clients is to state that we only do fortnightly mowing. So we work on a schedule and you have a booking, and every 2 weeks we come and mow your lawn. So I will often state that in the phone conversation, followed by, is that what you're looking for? And then right up front, we have the parameters of what this relationship will be like moving forward and if it's going to be suitable for both parties. Because a lot of people like to cancel, reschedule, and I call it work on a by request basis, which means if their lawn hasn't grown for that 2 weeks very much, then they want to, a lot of times they will say, can you come next week, or can you come in another fortnight? And I understand, again, that perspective, but it just does not suit my business, because if you work on this basis, what is going to happen is when the lawn is growing really rapidly, you're going to get hundreds of your clients, or however many you have, lots of your clients are going to call you and say, can you come this week? Can you come this week? And you're swamped because everyone is doing that. And then in the quiet time, no one is calling you, and so you're quiet. So you go from one extreme to the other. And that just, I've found over time, does not work for my business and for my lifestyle and what I want for my business and life. And so I work on a fortnightly basis. It means the whole system is consistent and it's reliable, and that has become really the foundation for my business and what I have found has really worked well. So often, or sometimes when I state that in the phone call, I'll say, blah, 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 that what I just said about coming every 2 weeks on a scheduled basis. Is that what you're looking for? Then they will respond, well, I'm probably only looking to get it done every 3 or 4 weeks. So for me, this is an indicator that is that type of client, that they're going to, when the lawn hasn't grown, they're going to phone you the day before you're due to come, and they're going to say, oh, don't worry about coming this week, can you come next week, or can you come in another fortnight? And I don't like this because it's extra admin time, it's an extra phone call, it also takes up space in my schedule that could have been filled for someone who would be more appropriate. So yeah, those are 6 reasons, 6 types of kind of scenarios of how I tell who is a good client and who is a bad client. Now, like I said at the start of the video, it really depends on the type of business you're running and the type of business you want to run. Maybe you don't mind any of these things that I've just pointed out that I do mind, and that is fine. You can operate your business however you want. That's the whole point of having a business, is to give you that freedom that you desire. And for what I don't like and what is not freedom for me may be freedom for you. So it's really important that you know who your ideal client is so that you can work from that. And when you see that a person is not going to fit that criteria, then you do not need to bring them into your business. So that's about all. I'm going to do a video also how to spot a good client. I hope you stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. See ya.